anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Hotspots magazine spotlights Taste of the Island 2025, celebrating 20 years of diverse food, drink, and community at historic Richardson Park.
Amid restrictive state laws, a few U.S. cities declare sanctuary status to protect transgender people and gender-affirming care from prosecution.
Zohran Mamdani wins the New York City mayoral race, championing affordability, equality, LGBTQ+ rights with bold, progressive policies.
Donald Trump Jr. faces backlash after reposting a vulgar message glorifying his father's genitals, reigniting criticism of toxic masculinity.
Abigail Spanberger wins as Virginia's first woman governor, defeating winsome Earl Sears in a decisive, unifying victory for equality and progress. All this important LGBTQ+ news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 11 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in a rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ+ evening news show.
Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ television stories.
We present South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fit. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this very table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ+ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table anchor Rajee Narinesingh, a famous transgender activist, actress, author, mystic, and reality TV personality. She's an activist for Trans Social. And welcome back to the table, Rajee. Rajee, so it's November. We're done with October, finally, right?
Yes.
T-Door is this month. We have a couple of other events as well. What should we be putting on our calendar that Rajee already has on hers?
Well, of course you all have to put me on the calendar, right? It's great to be back. And first I want to say I'm so excited because 2 weeks ago, I was elected board president of the Trans Social Board of Directors.
Woohoo! Wow, okay, that's
position.
news. When I told you today
Rajee.
what's new, you could have started with that.
it just hit me. You know, I'm getting a little older, and sometimes things take a little bit to get to my register. But yeah, it feels good. So I'm excited about my new position. Yeah.
Transsocial, everyone over there are transsocial. Morgan Mayfair, the Mayfair, everybody are just so incredible.
Yeah. Even before I started working with them, I mean, I was a client, and you know, what struck me was the grassroots vibe of the organization. So anyway, yeah, this month we got a lot going on. There's TDOR, Transgender Day of Remembrance, but
November 20th?
The 20th, exactly. Ooh, girl, you got it going on.
Girl, you know I got to be up on that. You know.
And we have the Bishop S.F. Makalani Mehi Awards. That's to honor transgender and gender nonconforming people in our community that have been doing the work. You know, so that is on the 13th. And tomorrow there is a town hall meeting at ArtServe.
Tonight.
Oh Lord, tonight. Okay, I'm really getting old.
But no, you're not, Rajee. That daylight savings does something to you. Doesn't it do something to you, Ty? Right? Where you're like, is it Wednesday? Is it Thursday?
Like, I think I need you to text me every day and say, okay, Rajee, this is what's going on today.
I'm going to sync our calendar.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
no way. You got too many events to go to. We're not going to sync our calendars. Well, Rajee, thank you so much for being back at the table for Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table anchor Kevin Lee. He's a 3-time #1 best-selling author, transformational speaker, and intuitive life coach. This native Texan is on a mission to help you find life purpose, spiritual fulfillment, and true happiness. Kevin Lee, welcome back to the show. Let me tell you that I really enjoy having you at the table.
Thank you so much.
This is now, I think, our 3rd or 4th time. And like every time I like you more and more,
well,
you know?
Thank
so
you.
No pressure.
You're making me blush. I hope we got filters on.
No pressure, right? But we need folks like you now more than ever, right? And I felt like
just a little positivity.
Yes. Yeah. So what kind of, can you give our viewers a little bit of positivity to continue their evening tonight?
Well, let me tell you something. This whole principle of winter is coming, I keep hearing it in media and from the kids. And so let me tell you, this is a time, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. So we have a new season coming upon us, the holiday season, full of lights, full of colors, and it's full of actually understanding that people are just people, and that really just communities are opening their doors to each other. And I love this time of year because we need a freaking kindness revolution. Right?
Yeah.
So this is my favorite time of the year.
I love that. A kindness revolution.
We need it.
All right. Kevin Lee is starting a kindness revolution. All right. Well, thank you so much for being at the table here at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table anchor Dr. Tai Houser. He's a professor of English and Humanities at Broward College and Florida Atlantic University. Welcome back to the table, Tai. And I gotta ask you, were you doing too much with the positivity, with the positive revolution? Is that what happened to your wrists?
Oh, no. This is Olympic sex. Absolutely Olympic sex.
Wow. Okay.
I want to thank the twink that was involved.
Oh. Twice.
From
well, Dr. Tai Houser, thank you so much for being back at the table at Queer News Tonight.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is a legendary events host, television and media radio personality, and the host of Hotspots Happening Out's The FayWhat Show. Faye, Miss Florida Pageant marks 53rd anniversary on November 10th. Tell me what's happening out.
Wow. Well, the spotlight will shine bright on Monday, November 10th. That's next Monday, November 10th, as the Miss Florida Pageant celebrates its 53rd anniversary at the venue in Wilton Manors. The doors will open at 6 p.m. and the pageant will begin sharply on time at 7 p.m. Presented by Can Community Health, AHF, and Hotspots Happening Out. This grand event will feature 4 pageants in one night. 4, okay? Miss Florida FI, Miss Florida FI at Large, Miss Florida FI Supreme, and Mr. Florida ME, all in one evening. The evening will honor reigning title holders Jalitza Fierce, Isaiah Sanchez Hilton, and Dashia Richards. The celebration will also mark special anniversaries for Heather Fontaine and Amy DeMillo. Attendees can look forward to a dazzling parade of performers and unforgettable performances promising glamour, artistry, and legacy. All under one glittering roof at the venue, Fort Lauderdale. For more details, visit MissFloridaFIPageant.com. FayWhat.com. You know, I love me a good pageant. We all do in our community,
Absolutely.
don't we?
Yeah,
Like, oh my
absolutely.
God, like I think that like that's something that we all share, being a kid and seeing Miss Universe, Miss America, whatever, and just going, I'm so gay. And Miss Florida does that for us. And now here we go with the 53rd year. I can't even believe.
It's amazing that something like can be 53 years old,
Yes.
especially something celebrating us. Right?
Yes.
Right?
And what amazes me all the time is the talent. I mean, those girls put themselves together and they bring it.
Gorgeous.
They bring it. It's such wonderful
Just the
talent.
artistry and the skill now, like the level of makeup, the level of costuming, the level of just the whole putting themselves together is spectacular.
Yeah.
No,
See
yeah.
the growth over the years.
It's not something that you do one day to another, like, oh, I'm going to be part of Miss
Right.
Florida, or I want to run for Miss Florida FI at large. It doesn't work that way. Like
You're committed.
The day after Miss Florida, people are already getting their packages together for the next year
You gotta
to
be ready.
come, you know? And these girls are fierce. They're competitive. They're not playing around, right?
Right.
Nobody's allowed to wear any pearls just in case you want to throw them down the stairs. You know what I mean? But I mean, Gary Santis and Scott Howland and Allison Thomas, these folks, I mean, they live, breathe, and everything, this pageantry system, and it shows.
Allison
You know?
is such a sweetheart.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my God. She's definitely a pillar of the community.
She really is.
And every time I see her, she shows me so much love.
Well, boys,
Yeah.
if you boys have never met Miss Allison
not
Thomas,
yet.
have 2 words with her and you will be a different person. She just puts you in a state of calm and joy all at once. And all of a sudden you got hope for the future. It's very odd, but the woman has it under her. She has that power. So I look forward to seeing you all at Miss Florida FI next Monday at the venue. I will be there in the audience cheering everybody on because it is just a night that you don't want to miss.
Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you all at Miss Florida FI Pageant's 53rd anniversary on November 10th.
I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Hotspots magazine serves up Taste of the Island 2025, a feast for the senses and the soul. Our Hotspots Happening Out LGBTQ lifestyle magazine Hotspots is back with a feature on Taste of the Island 2025, one of South Florida's most beloved community foodie events. This year marks the 20th anniversary, 20th annual celebration of the event. And it takes place on Monday, November 17th at Richardson Park in the heart of Wilton Manors, bringing together local restaurants, breweries, and caterers for a night of culinary excitement and community spirit. Highlights include favorites like Another Perfect Party, Aquaplex for Fort Lauderdale, and Aroma Joe's Coffee, alongside newcomers like the Naughty Nibbler, Heart of Love Creations, and Java Joe's Coffee House, all serving up bites and beverages with flair. From Funky Buddha's Brewery's creative ales to Bole Fresh Bold Kitchen's healthy bowls and the vibrant flavors of Mark's Cuisine. And we can't forget Casa Menorca Mexican. This year's lineup celebrates diversity in every delicious form. This feature story and many more are included in your free copy of the upcoming issue of Hotspots magazine on stands this Thursday, November 6th. And I, for one, love Taste of the Island. I wish I can consider myself a foodie, but I'm not that graceful about it. You know what I mean?
I just like to eat.
You know what I mean?
Line
Because I think of a foodie going up to the stand, taking a bite of one of the taste and saying, "Oh, this is unique. This tastes like this." Blah blah blah, and then throwing out the rest. Right? I'm the one that I'm taking one. I'm taking 2 for the road. You know what I mean? Because I might not feel the same way after 2 bites. Right? And I'm just like experiencing every country by each sector of where I'm going to. You know, there's donuts, there's coffee, there's different kinds of food, you know, there's all kinds of fun things, and you get to try something new. Maybe there's a restaurant that you've driven by a million times, or a restaurant that you've seen all your friends at, right? And you're like, I haven't gone there and tried that out. This is a great way for you to be able to do that, you know?
Super fun, super interesting. I always love it. And, you know, but I like that title, Naughty Nibbler. Rajee, I think that's one of my exes in Texas.
Naughty Nibbler. Yeah, I haven't been. I have not been, but I've always wanted to go.
Super
Because
fun.
I am a girl that loves to eat, honey. Okay, and I'd be like you, Faye. I would just be like, "Ooh, can I have another one?"
Right?
And putting it in my bag. I have a humongous bag.
Oh,
In
now
case
we
anyone
know.
doesn't know. Oh yeah, I would probably have a ball.
So much
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Well, it sells out every year, and there are still tickets available, so make sure that you go and grab some, all right, for Taste of the Island 2025.
I'm Rajee Narinesingh, and let's queer up trans rights. Sanctuary cities step up as trans rights face renewed attacks. Across the U.S., a growing number of cities are declaring themselves sanctuaries for transgender people, stepping in where states and the federal government fall short. Since 2022, 25 states have banned most gender-affirming care for trans youth, 6 making it a felony for doctors to provide it. Only 14 states and D.C. have shield laws, leaving local governments to fill the gaps. Sanctuary resolutions block officials from sharing information about a person's gender or health care and prevent city resources from aiding out of state prosecutions. Sacramento became the first state capital to do so in 2024. According to Eric Gora, mayor pro tem of Sacramento, quote, "It goes down to the fundamental belief that people are people and we should respect people for who they are," end quote. Olympia, Washington followed the course after residents said they were feeling very fearful and unsafe. Even in red states like Missouri, local leaders persist. Well, as a transgender person, I'm happy that there are sanctuary states because let me tell you, since this whole administration, I mean, it is scary.
Yeah. Yes.
I came out in a time where there were no rights. And then, oh my God, finally we start to see some momentum with the transgender civil rights movement. And we get a little bit of rights. And now they want to snatch them away from us.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. Like when I go out in public, even to just go to the market sometimes, I'm like worried about my safety.
Yes.
Thank God I live in a community like Wilton Manors, Victoria Park, which is right close to Wilton. And I'm always in Wilton Manors doing activism or hanging out. And so I call it our little bubble.
Yeah.
But listen, you don't have to go too far from Wilton Manors to feel like, oh my God, am I safe? I'll pull up sometime at the market or anywhere, the gas station, I'll kind of look around.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things that someone like me lives with every day.
Of course.
And because of all that's happening against our community, I feel like it's heightened now. And people are more emboldened to be loud about their discrimination.
Yeah, right. The same people that weren't loud about the discrimination a couple of years ago. Like I've noticed that, like in places that I've gone to travel to, right? That the unisex and the any gender bathrooms are now changed to women and men. Yeah. Like they did it on the sneak, Places that I went to that were very open, all of a sudden got like the green light to be complete a-holes,
Well, a certain person that happens to be the president and his administration lend license to this kind of BS. They lend license because when you have that type of leadership and they're talking about our community and doing things against us, then people, even if they were quiet about it at one time and they always had it in them, now they feel like, oh, I can say
they're empowered now all of a sudden. Right?
They do. Actually.
Well, you know what's crazy about all this? It's 2025 and it's cities, not states, showing the moral backbone of America, right? You would think, right? Big shout out going out to to Sacramento for being that first city, right? To say, listen, come here, right? But it's crazy when your local coffee shop city council is doing more for human rights than your damn governor.
Isn't that crazy?
You know what I mean? Like, and let's not forget safety, like what you said, like, right? Safety for our trans siblings shouldn't effing depend on their zip code.
Oh, I know.
It should just be
at the heart of the quote from the story, people are people, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Why do we have to have any other opinion than people are people?
God.
Just respect them for
Can
who
you
they
please
are.
scream that from the mountaintop? I always say beyond all of my labels, transgender activist, actress, spiritualist, author, show host, board member, and reality TV personality, board president, multiracial. I am a human being.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
even deeper than that, I am a spiritual being living the human experience. So we all are entitled to our civil rights. Everyone.
100%.
So amen. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Hey,
Hallelujah.
Can we get an women?
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Hey, women. Yeah.
I'm Kevin Lee, and let's queer up politics. Zohran Mamdani makes history as New York City's first socialist mayor and LGBTQ+ ally. It's official, Zohran Mamdani has been elected as the next mayor of New York City, making history as a progressive voice and longtime LGBTQ+ ally. The 34-year-old Democratic Socialist defeated former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa after a grassroots campaign driven by young voters. The Associated Press called the election in Mamdani's favor shortly after 9:30 p.m. Tuesday. Mamdani's platform focused on affordability and equality, from free buses and universal childcare to rent-frees and city-owned grocery stores. His promises to LGBTQ+ New Yorkers include expanding gender-affirming care with a $65 million investment, creating an Office of LGBTQIA+ affairs, and strengthening sanctuary protections for queer and trans residents. As a state representative, Mamdani backed the repeal of the Walking While Trans law, co-sponsored the Gender Recognition Act, and voted for New York's SHIELD law protecting access to gender-affirming care. The big question on yesterday's election is, what does New York City mayor and elections in Virginia, New Jersey, and California forecast for next fall's vitally important midterm elections? Well, interesting story. I see a little bit of kindness in the world showing up, right? A little bit of positivity. Yeah. I'm very happy. I like when people shake things up. You know, I may be from Texas, I may be white, but let me tell you, I like when the good old boys get shaken up, and this gentleman is so diverse. That's what I love about this story. Yeah. He comes from, if I'm not mistaken, is it India?
Okay, so
his mother's Hindu.
Right.
He identifies as Muslim.
Yes.
And
he lived in Uganda.
That's where it was.
As a young child.
Kid,
yes.
Before Idi Amin ousted all the South Asian
people.
people.
Girl, you know your Wikipedia, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's her history, too. So
I love it. I love it. But you know what's interesting is that this gentleman has served on a state level, city level. This gentleman is for the people. I love the fact that he is just so different. He's just like I said earlier, people keep saying winter's coming with this guy coming into office. Mm-hmm. But you know what? For me, he's like a breath of fresh air. He's spring to me.
Yeah.
Because he is literally an example of the youth. He literally is the youth. He's 34 years old.
34 years old.
He is the next generation of politicians, of spiritual leaders.
Yeah.
You know, in many ways, he is a spiritual leader, right?
Yeah.
Because he's willing to connect with multiple religions, he's willing to go and represent communities that aren't typically represented in political fights and in political elections. So I just celebrate this guy.
And the grassroots folks need a win.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. They haven't had a win for a long time. So to have a grassroots organization get this guy elected, we can look across the country at grassroots organizations and say, okay, there's a win. Let's get back to work.
Exactly. Well, and that's kind of what we said at this table when Trump took office, was that grassroots need to reinvent themselves, right? We have to go back to knocking on the doors and hitting the pavement. Mm-hmm. And that's basically what he did, right? Yep. Like Sunday night, he was at Papi Chulo. He was at gay bars till 1 in the morning. He was in Brooklyn hanging out with the hip hop kids. Like he was all over, right? And he wants that to happen. He wants you to feel seen, right? Yeah. All of a sudden. Yeah. But it's like, you know, and people are like, well, but why would you support a socialist? Because he's not a sex offender like Cuomo.
Right.
How about that? I mean, like, one thing,
God.
like, I don't need much more than that, you know? Yes. He did a beautiful video representing from the peers, right? Talking about Sylvia Rivera and Marsha P. Johnson. No one even looks at our transgender history as history, right? And he's there saying, I know this happened here. I know Marsha P. got killed here where she would work here. Wow. And I would love to have an office that represents all of the folks that are two-spirited, LGBTQIA+, right? And he's going to bring that to life.
And I think they use that whole socialist thing as a scare tactic, because every society, you know, you can disagree with me, but I think all societies need socialist programs, because the fact is life is not an equal playing field.
Not anymore. It's not.
No, it's not. So you have people that for whatever reason need help.
Yep.
Okay, and so I think they just use that. But I absolutely feel, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, I get such a caring and loving vibe from him. Yep. And I feel like he truly cares about the poor and the middle class. I feel like he's trying his best to be inclusive.
Right.
Last night, during his acceptance speech, he said, "This is for the abuelas, and you know, and this is for the Somalian cab drivers, and you know, and this is for the Trinidadian aunties," and he said, "and the transgender people." He talked about the Jewish people and how, you know, he wants to really stand up against anti-Semitism. He talked about Islamophobia, and he said also transphobia, because he talked about how our community, we deal with a lot of discrimination. So who has stood up and said that stuff in recent times?
You can count them in one hand.
Yeah.
We needed that.
So I know he's married.
She's beautiful, by the way. Can we talk about the first lady? She is really, really pretty.
Beautiful. But I know he's married, but listen, I can still have a crush. And when he said shout out to the trans people, I was like, oh my God, I love him.
Rajee was like, shout out back, boo. So honestly, if fighting for rent freezes and trans rights makes you a socialist, then baby, pour me a red mocktail and call me Comrade Faye. All right? Because I am here for it. Like, you know, like I was telling Ty before the show, New York is that place that once a New Yorker, you're always a New Yorker. If your license ever had New York on it, then you just left a piece of yourself there. I mean, it just is how it is, right? And like, just to, like you said, he's calling out people that are not usually felt seen.
Exactly.
These people can see themselves in him. Communities are recognized by him just standing up and being positive. How does he salute people? What's he doing?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and this is what I absolutely love about him. Oh, I have a crush. Anyway, when he's trying to show people like respect and love, and he'll wave, and then he'll take his hand and
like that.
Pat his heart.
I can do that.
And he does it. Look at the videos. You might not believe me, but look at those videos. He's always doing it. He's always touching his heart. Like, you know, my love to you. My love to you all. Yes.
Yeah. No, and he just seems so considerate, respectful, and appreciative, right?
Yes.
One last thing, right? Authentic. Thank you. Right. And isn't that all we're trying to be in our community, is just be who we really are? And he's being able to do that. Right?
And I loved how he said, we beat the, I think he said the empire, the corruptive empire, and like, it was like, you know, because by the way, Trump did say if he wins, I don't know if you all heard this, that he was going to stop federal funding to New York.
I heard that.
And he was like, you know, in other words.
We will see. We will see. Again, also Ron DeSantis says now with his win, we're going to get most of the outpour of people coming down here to Florida, right? So, I mean, again, you know, let's just see whatever it is will be, but it gives us hope.
And he's not anti-Semitic. Stop. People keep saying that. He's not. Just because you stand with the people of Palestine doesn't mean that you're anti-Jew.
Exactly.
You can have compassion for both.
And we have had Jewish people at this table say just that. You know, so it's sad that unfortunately he's automatically like, you know, like the email I was telling you folks before the show that, you know, I get bad comments. I get hate mail. I don't care. Keep sending it. I enjoy it. It's funny as shit. But I've never had something like, you know, when I posted my happiness about his victory, about hope, about the future, about what this could look like, right? I got awful hate mail back, and from people saying things like, he really wants you dead, you know? And I've never, like, I've never experienced something like that before, right? So I was kind of taken aback, but instead of being sad about it, it just made me think that this guy's got so much power, and these people are so afraid that it takes this to happen. So keep it coming. And like I said, Comrade Faye. That's
I'm Tai Houser. Let's queer up politics. Donald Trump Jr. sparks outrage with Crude post bragging about his father's balls. Balls! Donald Trump Jr. is once again making headlines for a social media post that left many people stunned, this time for boasting about his father's genitals. The president's 47-year-old son reposted a message from conservative podcaster Adam Carolla that compared his 79-year-old father's supposed balls to political rivals. Carolla's post read, quote, "The real Trump ballroom is the room he gives his balls in comparison to the leg-crossing pussies like California Governor Gavin Newsom and former President Barack Obama," end quote. The post featured side-by-side images of Trump sitting with open legs and his rivals sitting with crossed ones. Trump Jr.'s repost ignited backlash across social media, where many called it crude and juvenile. The fixation isn't new. Trump Jr. has previously joked about genital comparisons between himself and his father, and the president once infamously defended the size of his penis during a 2016 Republican debate, a highlight of debate in history. However, adult film star Stormy Daniels, who claims to have had an affair with the president, has said his anatomy is, quote, smaller than average. For LGBTQ audiences already wary of Trump's machismo politics, the latest post feels like another example of the family's obsession with toxic masculinity. How is it that the Trumps know so much about each other's genitals?
I know, like,
it's really bizarre. And also, remember, not that long ago, Spain introduced a law, and I don't remember if it passed or not, to keep from manspreading on the trains.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Yeah.
So there's this idea that, like, you've got big balls because you manspread. No, it's just because you want to, like, assert some kind of dominance. It's a disgusting kind of way to approach or to expose yourself to the world.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
take your pants off and show us what you got for real.
Right. And then, and according to the utmost source for dick and balls, South Park, and Stormy Daniels, right? His penis is super small. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like, it's probably has so much space in the underwear that's why he's got to sit how he sits.
It's always the loudmouths that don't have anything. They want to make like they have. It's the quiet ones that, like, they have like bats.
They have a kickstand.
I know, kickstand. It's like, what the freak? You tricked me. And so yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I don't know. This is what really disturbs me. So they can say all of this inappropriate stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it's supposed to be okay. But then they want to police the other side.
Exactly.
Like if we say something that might be taken inappropriate, like they're ready to pounce on us.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of it is two sides to one coin in politics. But I do notice that, like they feel like they can get away. Well, they do get away with a lot of it. But then they want to police us.
It's the toxic masculinity run amok, just like Tai said. Every time a Trump says the word balls, an eagle somewhere just sighs. You know? Toxic masculinity isn't strength, it's insecurity with a Twitter account, all right? If that's their idea of leadership, I'll take brunch with drag queens over their ballroom politics any day. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up politics. Abigail Spanberger's historic win delivers a rebuke to anti-trans politics in Virginia. In a landmark victory for equality and pragmatic leadership, Democrat Abigail Spanberger has been elected Virginia's 75th governor and its first woman. The former CIA officer and three-time congresswoman defeated Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl Sears in a decisive race called just 53 minutes after polls closed Tuesday night. At her celebration in Richmond, Spanberger declared, quote, "We sent a message to our neighbors and our fellow Americans across the country. We sent a message to the whole world that in 2025, Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship. We chose our Commonwealth over chaos," end quote. Earl Sears, whose campaign centered on anti-transgender attacks, including a misleading they-them ad, failed to connect with voters as they are more concerned about the economy and education. LGBTQ plus advocates condemned the rhetoric as dangerous and divisive. After the election results, Human Rights Campaign President Kelly Robinson said, quote, "Tonight, Virginia chose progress and inclusion for all," end quote. Spanberger's victory signals that compassion, not fear, defines Virginia's future. And I, for one, could not be happier. Virginia said, "Bye, Felicia," to hate and hello to history. Spanberger's win shows voters are so over politicians who punch down just to get the attention that they so want. Maybe they weren't hugged enough as a child or something like that, but it turns out that compassion and competence are actually sexy now. Who knew? So go, Miss Spanberger, all right? Because you are up there representing every woman, every queer woman, right? Every person with some common sense. How about that?
Yeah.
Go Virginia, first female governor. Love that.
Yeah.
Right?
We need more women leadership in the world. So.
Yeah, we do. Because I was like, after this past election, and even with Hillary, I was like, what does it take for a woman to be able to
Exactly.
win.
Yeah.
It's like a double standard.
Exactly.
And, you know, even like, let's take Hillary and Kamala Harris. The qualifications they had, if a man had it, it would have automatically been,
Exactly.
they're fully qualified.
Exactly.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
I heard during the election, I don't know if she's ready. I don't know if she's qualified. And I'm like,
No one's been
what?
more ready.
How more qualified can you be,
Hello,
honey?
exactly. So,
She ran a
You know,
freaking state.
and it's hard for us women to see women that do the opposite. You know what I mean? That go
Yes.
against their own women, right?
Yes.
Because Spanberger was going against Wynn, and she is a BIPOC woman, right?
Yeah.
Saying that she didn't believe in gay marriage,
I
didn't
know.
believe that discrimination in the workplace to a gay person was actually discrimination.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You know, so there were a lot of factors that made her, for Virginians that wanted to really choose compassion over what they've had this rhetoric over and over, you know.
Just
so
because you're
go
black,
Virginia.
Yeah, just because you're black or brown doesn't mean your
Yeah, I
content of
know.
character
We've had
aligns,
these
you know?
wins, you know, through the election on Tuesday, but is that going to translate to, you know, the midterms? Like that's really kind of.
I hope
I'm
so.
hoping that this spillover is, I'm hoping that this movement is a spillover into that.
We have
Because
1 year, Ty.
We have
Yeah.
1 year. I know.
year.
So it's time to build. It's time
Yeah.
to work off of that. Take that kind of support and that strength and keep it going. Keep
Yeah.
the wave going.
Have to keep
In the
it going.
states where you can do it, keep it going.
We have
do.
to.
I mean, all I heard during the election was the economy,
Mm.
the economy, the economy. Oh, when I become president, it's going to be beautiful, the economy. And look at it now.
Everybody's
Look,
broke.
exactly.
Trying to figure out how to pay the bills.
Exactly.
How Thanksgiving is going to look this year. It's
Yep.
going to look a lot different for a
Yeah.
lot of families because of this.
So was it really the economy? Or was it an excuse?
Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
An excuse for racism and misogyny and,
Exactly.
you know, all of that.
Exactly. Well,
So, yeah.
but Virginia, what I like about Virginia, they chose progress over pettiness. And I think it's really it may be a baby step to a degree, but it's still the right direction for this country for more female leadership.
Yes.
And
Yes.
really for civility. So I am very excited about Virginia.
I'll take it, right? And like again, like Ty said, we got to ride this wave,
Yes, we
right?
do.
We've got a year. You know, we were bitching about only having Pete Buttigieg and
Right.
only having Gavin Newsom as
Right.
someone to look forward to. Now we have other names
Yes.
in our Rolodex. I can't believe I said Rolodex. Right? Go, okay, I'm going
Yeah.
to support these people because
Right.
they support our people.
Well, I'll tell you, if they keep effing up, believe me, people are going to really go Democrat in the midterms. If things keep going the way it's going,
yeah.
they're going to, because there are a lot of people are already so disgusted.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I think this was a reflection of that.
Look
So
here.
let's see, Ty. I hope
see.
that you know, it continues to build. Yeah.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up South Florida and Florida. South Florida Symphony launches Hurricane Melissa Relief Drive. The South Florida Symphony is stepping up to help neighbors across the Caribbean following the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. The orchestra has launched a relief drive to collect essential supplies from tarps and canned foods to hygiene kits, flashlights, and baby diapers. Donations can be dropped off at the Symphony office at 441 Northeast 5th Avenue, Suite 3, Fort Lauderdale, weekdays between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Organizers say every contribution will help support families rebuilding after the storm. I want to give a big shout out to Jacqueline Lorber, who is just an incredible human over there at the Symphony. She's here at the table sometimes as well, and I just adore her. You know, it's not a secret, right? I mean, like Jamaica got
Yeah.
got
they
devastated.
nailed.
You know, one
They
of
got
our
it.
own men, Julio Capo Jr., was
Yeah,
there
was
with
there.
with his man
Yes, I
and their
saw
family
him.
celebrating his mother-in-law's 70th birthday, and 50 of them were stuck there, you know?
Yeah.
Thank goodness they were all back safe and sound, but they saw the destruction firsthand. The pictures don't even do it justice of just
No.
how awful it is.
It
You know,
is,
the
yeah.
ports and everything, you know, these people make their money from
They sure
those
do.
ports of entry, from cruise lines, et cetera. Every little bit helps. So it's time to come together and help. Thank you so much to the Symphony for doing this. We've gotta unite and help.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, this is something that's usually outside the wheelhouse of a symphony, right? You don't expect a symphony to be doing a
Right.
fundraiser. So well done. I mean, and good on you for stepping up.
Yeah. My mom, her contractor and friend, he's been doing work for my mom for years. He's Jamaican. And he called my mom the other night and told her that where he's from is totally destroyed.
Wow.
Annihilated.
Yeah. Yeah, they're wiped out.
Wow.
We can all, just after work, we can all stop at Home Depot. We can stop at Publix. We can stop wherever we need to stop and just pick up a bag of something to donate.
Ni eso, Kevin. Not
it's
even
super
that.
easy,
You know
super
your
easy.
butt can go to your pantry right now and grab a couple cans of something
I
that
shop
you're not.
I shop at Costco.
I know you shop at Costco. So those extra cans, you can even do that.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up business. Grindr's billionaire owners moved to take company private in $3.5 billion deal. Grindr's New York listed shares soared nearly 19% Friday, the biggest jump in 3 years after billionaire George Raymond Zage III and Chairman James Liu offered to buy out minority shareholders, valuing the LGBTQ dating app at $3.5 billion. The duo plans to take Grindr private at $18 a share, a 51% premium to its October 10th price. Zage said, quote, "We are strong believers in the long-term outlook for the company," end quote. Zage and Liu currently own 64% of Grindr. Well, it doesn't surprise me. Grindr is quite popular, and and let me tell you, it's ironic when Republicans seem to congregate in a city, the Grindr just goes off the charts. It crashes. Did you hear a few times it crashed?
Yes.
Yes.
For the RNC.
Yes, exactly.
Well, let me tell you something, Teresa, my wife, right? That's what you should have bought me a stock to. What's the Grindr? She got me stocks to something else. This is what she should have gotten me stocks to. I mean, come on.
I don't care about the price of the stock. I don't care if they take it private. Take down some of the ads.
Oh, I get it.
You're getting in my way.
At least we've got a queer business succeeding. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Because we don't see a lot of that in the news. Even though people may throw shade at why Grindr exists, but let me tell you, who's casting the first stone? Not me, because I'm not here to judge them. I just celebrate it's a shining star in our community.
That's why I love you so much.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up politics. Dick Cheney, former vice president, an unlikely LGBTQ ally, dead at 84. Former Vice President Dick Cheney, a key figure behind the Iraq War and a rare Republican supporter of marriage equality, has died at 84. His family said he died from complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease, with loved ones by his side. His wife, Lynn, and his daughters, Liz and Mary, were with him as he passed. Cheney's daughter, Mary, is a lesbian. He once said, "Freedom means freedom for everyone." Quote, though conservative, he called Donald Trump a coward and a greater threat to the republic more than any other person in American history. It's interesting. He truly is an unlikely ally.
Yeah.
I have known for years he had a daughter who was lesbian. I know that he stood up for her when in moments when it counted.
Yeah.
And I just really, I love the fact that he walks alongside us towards progress, and I really appreciate that about him.
Well, I think too, when it hits home, it sometimes
changes you.
hard. Yeah.
It changes
Yep.
And this was his
Makes it real.
daughter.
Yeah.
And so, I don't think, well, I don't know, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think if he had a gay daughter, he might have been such an ally for
No, he wouldn't have been. No way he would have
Yeah.
been.
No. So-
I mean, I would have, it's all, it's ill to talk about the dead in a negative way, right? Okay, but the reality is that if he didn't have his gay lesbian daughter, he would not even give a shit about us. That's the actual truth, right? But here's a fun fact about him, all right? Dick Cheney had 5 heart attacks.
Yeah.
Starting in his 30s.
Yeah.
That's right.
Goodness.
Okay, and that did not stop him from making a lot of videos when President Trump, during his last election, trying to plead with people to not vote for him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, again, like you said, when it counted,
When it counted,
he
showed
used
up.
his voice.
He did.
I can't get over the war crimes.
I
I just can't get over
You know
it.
what I'm saying? And you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how a person can be a hero in one way and then a tyrant in another, but anyway.
Both can exist.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
and it's tough to have your heart pulled that way.
right.
But,
Yeah.
but
You wind up having 5 heart attacks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that he is a hero for our community and for the sheroes in the world, right? For all our trans women.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up gay culture. Jonathan Bailey makes history as people's first out gay sexiest man alive. Jonathan Bailey just made history. Following his breakout as Lord Anthony Bridgerton, the openly gay actor and philanthropist has officially been named People's Sexiest Man Alive for 2025. The first out gay man ever to hold the title. From his passionate role as Tim Lachlan in Fellow Travelers to playing Fiyero in Wicked and Dr. Henry Loomis in Jurassic World Rebirth, Bailey continues to redefine leading man charm and frickin' good looks. Through his work with the Shameless Fund, Bailey proves that sexiness is about authenticity, heart, and using fame for good. I'm just going to drool at the pictures for another 5 minutes, please. That's really all I got for you. I have loved him since I first saw him in he did some stuff for like BBC TV when I would spend my summers in the UK, and I would, I would see him back then. And then when he finally started to break out here, I was like, it's about time because this boy is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I was always crossed my fingers that he was gay.
Where's the woof button on this?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Woof.
Congratulations to Jonathan Bailey.
Yes, and all of us,
Yes,
Rajee,
and
because
all of
he's
us.
the first out gay man to hold that spot. So right now, for me, he's representing all of us because Wicked was the gayest movie ever.
Yeah.
And because of him, so many people have named their dogs Fiyero.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a dog boarding company. Too many dogs named Fiyero now. All right, but I love it. I love it.
What strikes me is like we have all this negative stuff happening against the LGBTQ community, but then we have moments like this where we make strides, and so these are like really inspirational, motivational moments for us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amen. LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up sports. National Women's Soccer and Orlando Pride stand firm behind Barbara Banda after Fox News attack. The National Women's Soccer League and Orlando Pride are standing strong with forward Barbara Banda after a Fox News guest falsely called her a male on America's Newsroom. Jennifer Say, founder of anti-trans brand XXXY Athletics, made the claim while discussing intersex athletes. Banda, a cisgendered woman and Zambian soccer star, has long faced such attacks despite FIFA confirming her eligibility. The National Women's Soccer praised Banda as extraordinarily talented and said hate, quote, has no place in our sport. Orlando Pride added, quote, she's a superb teammate, player, and role model. We proudly stand with Barbara, end quote. And we stand with Barbara as well. This story went to shit when you said Fox News, okay? That's when I knew that this person didn't give a crap about how they were going to present this star soccer player that she is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that they're standing with her, the league. This has happened a few times in the history of sports. I don't know if you remember the runner from Africa, Casper, I think was the last, or first name, but everyone thought she was a man.
Yeah. Well, how about Imani Khalif?
Yes.
That was just last year.
Exactly.
Where that was everywhere, where this woman boxer, right, was a woman, did all the everything that she had to do to kick that girl's ass, basically, and all of a sudden got called a man.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Let live. I mean, these sports leagues, they know what they're doing. They're not they do the testing and all of that to confirm, and they vetted her. But, people, they gaslight all the time. Oh, she's not feminine. Look at her. She does look manly. Must be a man.
Right.
Yep. Just projecting your insecurities onto someone else doesn't solve your insecurity.
Okay, and as a journalist, you take your job with respect. Okay, know the facts and say them correctly. Right. That's it, right? Retract. That's what you should do, is retract and make sure that what? Why are you looking at me with that face?
No, because I'm saying, Faye, you said it. Fox News. What can we expect from Fox News?
As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We'd also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight, and our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ plus community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow and thrive and shine, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, FayWhat, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, Rajee Narinesingh, Kevin Lee, and Dr. Tai Houser. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. to our LGBTQ plus world. We wish you a good night.